What's up everybody, D-Man back. Welcome to a brand new video, and today we're getting a blast from the past. That's right, a genuine news and updates. This video dates all the way back to January 15th, 2021. It was put on the back burner so I could prioritize the other news happening at the time, and then I went on hiatus, and by the time I came back I was like, it's not worth releasing the video. But now that I'm diving back into the news vaults, why not? It's going to be edited just the same as all the others, a speedrun news video, but the content itself, it's a little more in depth. What's up for Pretty D-Man back? We're a new video, and today we're going to be doing another Godzilla vs. Kong news and updates. Starting out with Mr. Awesomeness 360's Godzilla vs. Kong art. He did actually just Kong at the moment, but there are these really cool drawing images of Kong on the aircraft carrier, the officially released image for Godzilla vs. Kong. He did these nice art renditions. You can actually see he drew them over the original. Looks really cool. I really like it. The original looks great, but then he also did a shadowed version, which also looks fantastic. Michael Salazar also released some new art, and this one is of the Titan Nozuki. Oh yeah, this looks really cool. He originally did a Nozuki version, but now he's doing the Warbat variant. So the Nozuki one was the old one when we didn't really have a clear look at the image. Now that we know it's a new snake monster and we can actually see it in HD and we have a name for it, we have the Warbat version, because that's the official name now, I guess. And so yeah, it looks really cool. I think he does a great job. This actually looks very badass. I'd love to see this thing in motion, and I'm very excited for it. Adam Wingard has resumed activity in the Godzilla vs. Kong area. You know, he's back in motion, posting pictures on his Instagram story of some Godzilla biology, this art from Japan, and some weird King Kong image, and then a really badass King Kong image. But it's just cool to see him posting on his story again, and so yeah, it's awesome to see that Godzilla vs. Kong is still something he cares about, because he's been very radio silent on the movie. Hopefully he'll start to talk about it a little more now that we're drawing a little closer. The Monarch website went down, leading a lot of people to believe that there would be a new Monarch website instated, including myself, in order to hype up Godzilla vs. Kong. However, the old Monarch website did go back up. The reason a lot of people thought that it went down in order for a new website to pop up was because when the original Kong Skull Island Monarch website went down, very shortly after, this current Monarch website popped up and was used through Godzilla King of the Monsters ad campaign. Bandai has been slated to release a new Kong 2021 figure. They have listed a Kong 2021 figure in their upcoming lineup, but that's cool. I love that Bandai is doing that, and I'm very excited for that. That is something that I'm gonna want to get, because Bandai will probably kill it with Kong, and I don't think they've done a Kong anytime recently, so it'll be cool for them to do a new one. That also gives me hope that if Bandai is doing a Kong, then hopefully SH Monster Arts will do a Kong. Oh man, that'd be awesome. Legendary and Rubies teamed up in order to do a Godzilla giveaway. It's actually a Godzilla and Kong costume giveaway. This was over Halloween, but I wanted to mention it just because Legendary really cares about the fan base, and the fan base really doesn't care about Legendary. They're just always trashing on them, always asking for the trailer. Also, Legendary and Playmates teamed up to do a Godzilla vs. Kong Christmas giveaway. Yeah, I think it's just super cool that they're doing these like nice little wholesome giveaways. It's really cool to see them trying to give back, and Legendary truly does care about the Monsterverse, so I appreciate them doing stuff like this. Alright baby, let's talk about Playmates' upcoming Ben 10 Punchbot. What the hell is a Ben 10 Punchbot? Obviously, it's beyond my era. I imagine that's something related to the current show, of which I do not watch. I'm a Ben 10 classic kind of guy. On the Walmart website, a new Playmates Ben 10 Punchbot was listed, but it was actually Kong. It was just like a weird messed up listing. Keep that in mind. Keep this news in mind. Playmates has messed up Godzilla vs. Kong listings in the past, so keep that in your head when we talk about this. I wanted to mention it because not only is it funny, but also that is relevant. Playmates has a new display seen at some Walmarts. Pretty cool. Godzilla and Kong fighting each other, like the little banner. Looks nice. And they have new official listings on their website. They have one new listing for an upcoming Kong and one new listing for Warbat. Oh baby. Kong looks really cool. It's very similar to the other Kong, however he's got red eyes and comes with a fighter jet. It's a heavily articulated figure, the most articulated figure Playmates is releasing. This Kong also features the battle damaged accessory on the arm and stands at around 6 inches. waves. Very cool, looks great, will go along very nicely with the other Kong. Very interesting that they released the Skullcrawler instead of this. Personally, I think this figure should have released with the Kong with the battle axe. That way we could have had 2 Godzillas and 2 Kongs, and then the Skullcrawler and the Warbat could have released together because those two are probably going to be linked in the new movie. Now, getting on to Warbat. It is our first official look at the new upcoming Titan in Godzilla vs. Kong. Of course, it's just a toy, so there's not tons and tons we can take away from it, but we do know now that there will be a new Titan in Godzilla vs. Kong, the Warbat, that appears to be a giant King Cobra-esque Titan. He's got these nice red frills that wrap around his body that will look very cool, and again, we don't know how screen accurate this is, but I really like the King Cobra frills behind his head. A lot of people think he might fly with that. Of course, Bat is in the name, so he might fly with those, which would be very cool. The jaw is kind of Shin Godzilla-esque, super cool, and this figure doesn't look like it will have a ton of articulation because there's not a ton you could do with it, but it does look like they've put enough joints in here to do as much as possible. Also, it comes with an osprey and a battle damaged accessory. This also stands at 6 inches. I'm very excited for that figure. I think it looks really cool. Super curious to see what Warbat is all about in the new movie. Now, they did release a plot description for Warbat, so this is really interesting. With the description, powerful enough to tear through armored vehicles with its massive fangs. Of course, you know, obviously it's a monster, sure. But it goes on to say, the Warbats, as in plural, as in multiple Warbats, are venomous winged monsters that hunt the hidden depths of the hollow earth. That's cool. So yeah, I guess they do fly with those things on their head. I guess they're wings. But yeah, I guess it's a new species of creatures that lives in the hollow earth that we will be visiting in the new movie. So I guess the Hebs will probably go down into the hollow earth, these anti-gravity vehicles that Monarch has built. They will probably discover these Warbat Titans, and that will be a big thing. And I'm sure that the big granddaddy Warbat will be called Nozuki. For those of you who don't know, a long time ago, a Nozuki listing for the Warbat popped up and quickly was gone. So that's why a lot of people call it Nozuki. And there's a theory that the big one is going to be called Nozuki. It'll be like the Queen Skullcrawler, but for the Warbats. There's also rumors, I guess theories really, not rumors, but there's also theories within the community that the Warbats are probably going to be the predator to the Skullcrawlers. The Skullcrawler will probably be their prey, and the two species will be two Hollow Earth species that are at war with each other. I would love to see that. Just as long as it doesn't detract from the actual Godzilla vs. Kong plot, I think it could be cool in the movie. I mean, you can't be right about everything, but those are pretty cool theories. I would have loved to see both of those things happen. Oh well, I liked what we got. Even if the Warbats were just a quick cameo, basically, they were still cool. Also, some fans, including Up From the Depths, have noticed that there is a striking similarity between Warbat and the King Cobra kaiju that shows up in Godzilla, the series from the 90s. I don't know if it's intentional or not, but it is certainly noticeable. Now on to the figures that I'm very hyped for. Oh man, these are going to be so cool. These have officially popped up on Walmart's websites, and there is a Mega Punching Kong figure. When the original Playmates leak hit, we saw the figure Mega Godzilla and thought that it was some sort of, oh no, Mecha Godzilla kind of thing in the Monsterverse. That's not the case. As we can see here, Mega Kong is an official thing. A lot of people thought that Mega Godzilla was going to be like a cyborg version of Godzilla. I don't think so. It seems like just a gimmick for the toy, given the fact that we have Mega Punching Kong with lights and sounds. He also comes with a tiny little toy soldier and a battle axe, so that's pretty cool. The axe looks like just an upscaled version of the other axe, but this Kong is a new sculpt. It's not the big Kong that they have. This one's much more articulated than the other big Kong that they have, although his legs aren't as articulated as they could be. He's got enough articulation to be pretty cool. He also roars, which is going to be really nice. He stands at 13 inches, and I'm very excited for it because this is kind of what I've been begging for, is Playmates to go back to the old school. Back in the day, they used to release these really awesome King Kong toys. This isn't as good as those old ones used to be, not by a long shot, but now it has a little bit more of that feel. He's got light up red eyes, which is cool, goes along with Kong's color scheme. He's got the punching action, so he's got some sort of gimmick with him. He roars. I'm pretty excited for this thing to come out. I think it could be really awesome. To go along with that, we do have the official release for Mega Godzilla. Much like with the Kong, I don't think this means anything for the plot. This is a Mega Heat Ray Godzilla with lights and sound. This one has a little button on the side that you can press that will make him roar, and also it will make him fire out projectiles from his mouth. So he features these two little projectile atomic breath things. They don't really look like Godzilla's atomic breath, but they're like these little missiles you load back in the back of his throat. Then you press a button and he'll shoot them out of his mouth. mouth. That's pretty cool. He comes with roaring as well and lights up his eyes. I'm so happy that they're doing these kind of toys. It's just something really cool for kids. When I was a kid, I absolutely loved these. Also, you got a decent range of articulation on this guy, so I'm very excited that they're putting these out, just because I know that there's a lot of kids that still love this stuff, and the more stuff like this that comes out, the more kids will appreciate this film, and that's going to be important for future generations moving forward, for them to appreciate the Godzilla movies we're getting. My eyes are on the future, guys, and the past, because I know my younger self would have loved these. Alright, we talked about that Playmates might mess up some listings, and now let's get into it. There are new listings for upcoming Playmates figures that have popped up that we don't know if they're real or not, including one Skullcrawler alternate color. I do think that this one's probably real, probably just a base colored Skullcrawler without the red. That is something I could entirely see them releasing. The new thing that I don't think is going to be real is the upcoming listing for the GVK Rodan. Does that mean that Rodan's going to be in Godzilla vs. Kong? I doubt it. I highly doubt Rodan will appear in Godzilla vs. Kong. I think that this is probably going to be a new Playmates classic Rodan that just currently has the GVK title, because I've heard from some people who have contacts at Playmates that there's probably not going to be any figures that we don't know about coming out in the line. Everything that was originally seen at the leaked investor thing from a year ago, that's probably it. That's probably all we're going to get as far as Godzilla vs. Kong toys go. So I doubt that this Rodan's involved. And the GVK King Ghidorah figure listing still hasn't gone away either. I doubt that that's also related to Godzilla vs. Kong. I think that's going to be something entirely different as well. A classic MonsterVerse Ghidorah or something releasing with the Godzilla vs. Kong line. I could see it being a MonsterVerse Ghidorah and a MonsterVerse Rodan, not a Godzilla vs. Kong Ghidorah or Rodan, but it does make sense from a marketing standpoint to call them that. Finally, we have the very first official commercial for Godzilla vs. Kong, and it comes from Playmates, and it is subpar. First of all, it features clips from Godzilla King of the Monsters and Kong Skull Island, but it's got these really goofy explosion effects going on the whole time with this pretty bad sound design. A very low quality ad. They've got these green screened backgrounds. I appreciate that they do the color palettes for Godzilla and Kong being orange and blue clashing. That's at least a neat touch. But overall, it's not the greatest ad you've ever seen in your life. I appreciate that they make it. It's kind of a generic toy commercial. I'm sure some kids would get pretty hyped after seeing this. I don't know if this would have been the thing that would have gotten me mega hyped as a kid, but it is cool. And at the very end, you do have a nice little lineup of the first full wave of Godzilla vs. Kong figures, including the Kong with the fighter jet and the Warbat. They're all featured in this ad, so there you go. For those of you who like and subscribe, remember that you guys are the real heroes. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you guys next time for the next one. D-Man out.
What? You've never seen my 66 years of Godzilla tribute? You know it's posted, right? I'm not supposed to give my opinion, but go check it out, and then you can tell me if you like it or not.